What's going on, everyone? Today we're going to be installing the Icon Stage 7 suspension on my 2020 Toyota 4Runner. So when you purchase the Icon Stage 7 suspension kit for the 4Runner, this is what you're going to be getting in the kits. Yours might look a little different than mine. The reason why is because I already have the Icon Stage 2 suspension installed on the 4Runner, so that means I already have the upper control arms and the coil springs installed, and I did upgrade to the 3-inch coil springs. So when you do purchase the kit, you're also going to be getting what you see here, but then also those two things that I mentioned. But to kind of go over the stuff that you're going to see when you purchase the Icon Stage 7 is you're going to get this front coilover. You're going to get a pair of these, and these come with the CDC valve remote reservoir. This will allow you to adjust your ride according to the terrain that you're on. So let's say you're on road, you're going to want to have your coilover set to maybe a little bit more stiff, and then when you're off-roading you can kind of soften them up. So you can kind of see the numbers here on the knobs. Same thing as well for the rear shocks. You're also going to get the adjustable CDC valve, and this one right here, this is going to be the rear upper control links, and this is just going to help improve the strength and adjustability and performance over the factory upper links. Same thing over here. This is the lower links, and you can already see how stiff it looks, or just how beefy it is. And the other thing that you're going to get is you're also going to get this track bar, and this is also adjustable as well. And then you'll also get, you know, some hardware to clamp on the hoses and the remote reservoirs. But yeah, this is what you're going to get with the Icon Stage 7. Let's go ahead and get them installed. Alright, so this is day 2, and I finally have the passenger side installed. One thing that I do want to note is that for the passenger side on the 2020 4Runners and above, there is a wash fluid reservoir that kind of pops out of the wheel well, and there's normally a black cover here that covers that, but when I was putting on the bracket and trying to clamp on the remote reservoir, the black cover was blocking my ability to put on the clamps. So I actually removed the black cover and took a heat gun to this tank here and kind of remold it so that I could position the remote reservoir. This is something that you will have to do, I think, because I wasn't able to put the reservoir on there or the clamps, and even right now it's barely on there, but it does seem secure. And this is something that Icon, their installation guide, doesn't really mention, and I think it's because for previous 4Runners they didn't have this, but for at least the 2020s they do have this here. So this is what you might have to do, unless I did reach out to Icon to see if there's a better way to do that, but they haven't gotten back to me yet. And I did drive around last night with this setup, and it seems like it's good. It doesn't really move that much. It's only looking like it's moving up top because the bracket is only attached on the bottom. But I think for now this is the best way. I'm hoping that the clamp doesn't rub on the reservoir too much that it punctures it, but this is kind of the best thing to do right now. So now that that is done, I'm going to be working on the rear today. Again, the rear is going to have the shocks, which I'm going to be installing first, and then while the car is lifted, I will be installing the upper arms and then the lower arms. And then based on the instructions, you don't really need to have the car lifted in order to install the track bar. So I'm going to be doing all of these first while the car is lifted, and then the last part will be that one. Alright, so I ran into a little bit of a problem. The nut that is part of the package does not fit into the hole here. There is a thread, but I think the nut is a little bit too big, so I'm not able to put on the bracket that goes onto the frame here. So in the meantime, I'm just going to zip tie it for now. I'm not going to be doing any crazy driving, so you know, it's on there very loosely, but it'll hold on until I take it to the shop. And the other issue that I ran into is while I was trying to loosen up the nuts for the upper links and the lower links, I use an impact driver, but the impact driver I have, I don't think it's powerful enough, so I'm having issues removing those and installing on the new ones. So I'm also going to be taking that to the shop. And then I figured, you know, for the track bar, I might as well just have them do it here too. But at this point, I think I did as much as I could, you know, installing the front shocks and also the rear shocks. And for now, I'll just have to wait until I go to the shop. Alright, so fast forward to day 3. I went over to Home Depot to pick up a can of penetrating oil and sprayed it in the area where the nuts would go for the upper trail arms and the lower trail arms. And I gave it a few minutes, and then afterwards I was able to use my hand tool and some elbow grease and was able to pull out the upper arms. And right now I'm going to install the Icon ones, but before I do that, I do have to adjust this one to be the same size as the OEM. And you can already tell the difference between the Icon ones and the OEM ones. These are just a lot thicker, almost 3 times the size, and that's just going to add a lot more agility and prevent it from causing any damage, because when you're off-roading, there are times when you could hit something and then have this be bent, and so this is just going to help give more strength and perform a lot better. So I'm going to go ahead and adjust this, install that, and then I'll be working on the lower arms as well, and then I'll bring the vehicle down to take out the track bar. So let's get to it. Alright, so after spending a few hours, I finally got the upper arm links and the lower links installed on both sides. I will have to say that the passenger side wasn't as difficult, but on the left side, the driver's side, you do have the gas tank over here. So it does take a lot of patience, and you also need a special socket in order to get to the other side. I'm going to show you guys. So when you come under the vehicle, you'll see that nut back there. Under the vehicle, when you're working on the driver's side and you're installing the upper arm links, there is that nut back there that is blocked by this gas tank here. So it does take a special socket in order to fit back there, and then loosen that bolt and install the upper arm links. And one other thing to note is that when you're working on the links, you only want to do it on one side at a time. The reason why is because if you do work on the upper arms on both sides, you will be kind of out of line. So definitely focus on one side first before you move on to the other side. But yeah, after spending a few hours, finally got both of the upper arm links and the lower links, and now I'm going to be working on the track bar, and then pretty much that will be it. And there it is, guys. The track bar is now on the 4Runner. I do apologize if I did not do a lot of filming. It's kind of hard to do all of this mechanical work and also try to record. So do apologize for the lack of videos, but generally you want to unscrew the OEM track bar and measure the track bar so that it's the same length. I do have this, I'm not really sure what it's called, but it does allow me to extend the OEM track bar, because originally that's where it would normally go to, but I added this because I have a 3-inch lift, and so having that extra hole up there allows you to keep the OEM track bar. But anyway, yeah, so you just want to unscrew that first, and then you want to unscrew this one. This one is a 19 millimeter, as well as that one down there. And once you unscrew that one, it will drop, and easy enough. You just pull it out and just put in the icon track bar. But this is a total of 3 days work for one person, also trying to record. But I'm pretty happy with the results. Just have to take it in for the alignment and for a test drive